He's a congressman, a husband, a father, a leader. But enough about Connie Mack. Congressman McCotter has been with us all night, so let's spend a few minutes talking to him about stuff in the news and this and that. Hey, Congressman, I want to start with President Obama's budget because I know it's important, but it bores the crap out of me, so I want to get it over with. What's your take? It's $3.4 trillion. That's a lot.
Well, it's a lot of money, Greg, clearly. It's a lot of hardworking people's income that will be taken by the government and put into expanding the role and the scope of the government that will then intrude into their lives, and this will also bury our children under a mountain of debt. And I'm glad to know that it bores you, because I think that it's always good to try to raise ratings with something that bores the host himself.
No, but you know, when I mean, here's the thing. I have a hard time getting angry over it because the Republicans spent so much money too. I mean, let's face it. $1 trillion isn't a new figure. It's been around.
That's insightful, Greg. Thank you for that. Clearly, the Republican Party did not do what it had to do in terms of keeping government limited and in keeping spending under control. But when you look in comparison to what's happening now, you're also seeing the $1 trillion number used rather than billions. And I think that in many ways the Republican Party has learned its lesson and will heed the will of the people.
What do you think of President Obama's so far his spending cuts?
Well, I think the entirety of the budget that the president has proposed, when you look at the cuts he's put in place, quote unquote, in many ways it seems to me a bit of a shiny ball diversion away from the reality of a $3.4 trillion budget being proposed. You're taking $7 billion out. I mean, that much pork taken out of the federal budget could maybe make you one bacon suit that you could give to a guest on your show.
But you know, if we could make one bacon suit, wouldn't it be worth it?
It depends what kind of salad you're being tossed in.
Yeah, that is true. That is a good point, Congressman. Very good. Yes. I want to move on to this whole Air Force One Manhattan fiasco. First, the administration said they weren't going to release any photos. Now they say they'll release one picture. Why did they change? Why the change of heart?
Well, I think there was enormous pressure brought to bear to explain why this was done, and that the public wants to get a better idea, specifically what types of pictures were taken, were they necessary? Because again, Greg, this just makes no sense.
Yeah.
The people of New York suffered so horribly on September 11th, the entire country did, and to see a plane fly into that space and not know what it is or what its intent may be clearly outweighs the need of the government to have a photo opportunity. I think they did feel the heat about releasing those pictures. This was supposed to be the most transparent, the most honest executive branch we've ever had, and yet you have to ask yourself, where's the transparency if you will not release pictures that the taxpayers have funded of Air Force One?
Well, transparency only works in some cases when it comes to this presidency. It's $300 grand for one lousy photo. My feeling is Bigfoot better be in that photo or it's not worth it.
Loch Ness Monster.
Yes.
Or Amelia Earhart.
Yeah, there you go. Now, I want to ask you, I want to move on to this whole controversy with Michael Savage being banned from Great Britain. What's your take on this?
Well, I think we're going to continue to see why we can be thankful we have a First Amendment. In Britain, as you know, it's evolved over time from Magna Carta, but they do not have the constitutional rights that we do to be protected from government actions. Their government has statutory power to do things such as regulate speech that many of us would consider absolutely insane for them to do. We've heard reports that they've put out from their home, I believe it is their home secretary, a list of people who, subject to hate crimes, are banned in Britain. Now, if I was still back in my band days, I would love the notoriety of being banned in Britain. But it doesn't matter in this sense to us. When they ban people, when they ban individuals, that is certainly not a model we want to follow in the United States. And unfortunately, we have many people over here that like to import such ideas from Europeans and from international governmental entities that then they try to make us have to work within.
Well, I wouldn't ban him from England for what he said, but I would ban him for wearing that hat. That was offensive.
Oh, great. We're trying to get him on the show, and you're making fun of his clothes.
Well, look at it. He's banned from the UK, which is one of our biggest allies, number one allies.
Hey, I've got one more question, Congressman. How do you feel about online gambling? I know Barney Frank is going to try to is introducing a bill to legalize it. Do you agree with it? Does it make sense?
Well, I think you've also seen instances, Greg, where people are taken advantage of online, not only in terms of gambling, but in terms of consumer fraud. many of the emails people get, especially senior citizens. So I think that unless you can show a way that you can help mitigate people being taken advantage of through scams or otherwise related to gambling and or anything else, you shouldn't try to legalize something that right now you can already access somewhere else. You can go to off-track betting at a racetrack. You can go to a casino in many states. So I don't think there's an imperative need for this to be there, and I think that the downside is too great, especially for some of the most vulnerable people in our society that will be subjected to these types of scams.
Yeah, the thing is, though, you're coming out against people like me who cause those scams. I'm the one that sends the majority of those emails to the elderly. Anyway, I got to move on, Congressman. Thank you so much. Plus, I mean, Bill lives at off-track betting, so it's kind of hard for him. You know?
Is that what OTB stands for?
Yes.
Oh, I had no idea. I just need a home.
Yes. Coming up next, we listen to my phone messages. And remember to check out the virtual basement. It's activitypit.com. It's a place where Red Eye fans can chat about tonight's show and the guests.